Amara, put that broom down.
But Mama, I need to finish.
I said put that broom down.
Why, Mama? I need to finish.
Amara, just leave it.
Leave what?
Leave what as of form?
Then tell me, what is going to happen?
Amara.
What's that?
Some warnings come with an explanation, others don't. But what happens when someone decides to ignore a warning simply because it doesn't make sense? Tonight, Amara is about to make a decision that could change her life forever. The evening breeze drifted gently through the village as darkness slowly began to replace the fading sunlight. Only a few moments earlier, Amara had returned from the market. She had laughed with her younger brother. She had exchanged playful words with her mother. Everything had seemed perfectly ordinary. But ordinary evenings sometimes become unforgettable nights. Because before the moon reached its highest point, Amara would hear a warning she would never forget. A warning that everyone in the village seemed to believe. A warning that she simply could not understand. As darkness settled over the village, the family gathered inside their modest home. The smell of freshly prepared soup filled the air. Mama Amara stirred the pot carefully, while Chidi arranged 3 wooden stools around the small dining mat. Amara carried calabashes of water from the clay pot outside. Everything felt peaceful. The family ate together, laughing occasionally as Chidi joked about how Amara had argued with a tomato seller in the market. "You really argued over just 15 naira," Chidi teased. Amara rolled her eyes. "I wasn't arguing." "Oh," Chidi smiled. "So you were giving her a lecture?" Mama Amara laughed softly. "You two will never stop." For a while, the house was filled with nothing but laughter. When they finished eating, Mama Amara stood and began gathering the empty bowls. Outside, the night had fully arrived. The village was quiet. Only the distant sound of insects and the occasional barkings of dogs could be heard. Amara picked up a broom resting against the wall. "I'll quickly sweep the compound before I sleep," she said. Before she could take another step, "Amara," her mother's voice was calm but serious. Amara stopped. "Yes, Mama." Mama Amara looked directly into her daughter's eyes. "Leave the broom." Amara frowned slightly. "Why?" "It is night already." Amara looked outside, then looked back at her mother. "So?" Mama Amara took a slow breath. "In this village, we do not sweep after sunset." Amara smiled slightly. "Mama, you've said that before, but you've never told me why."
Put that broom down.
Mama remained silent.
Why, Mama?
Amara continued. "What exactly happens if someone sweeps at night? Does the broom suddenly become dangerous?"
Put that broom down.
Chidi covered his mouth to stop himself from laughing. Mama gave him a quiet
But
look.
Mama, I
The
need to
room
finish.
became quiet. Finally, she spoke. "Not every question has an answer that can satisfy the mind." Amara shook her head gently. "I don't understand. If something is dangerous, tell me why. If there is a reason, I'll listen. But don't just tell me because that's how it has always been." Mama Amara slowly sat down. When I was your age, she began quietly, my own mother warned me the same way. I asked questions too, but I learned that some traditions are followed because generations before us believed they protected the community. Amara listened respectfully. Mama continued, whether you understand them or not, sometimes wisdom begins with humility. Amara signed. I respect you, Mama. I truly do. But I can't believe something simply because people have repeated it for years. Chidi laughed. I think Amara would argue with the chief himself. Amara smiled. I only asked a question. No, Chidi replied. You interrogate people. Everyone laughed. Even Mama smiled for a moment. But the smile quickly faded. I'm serious, Amara. Please, never sweep this compound after nightfall. The following morning, the story spread through the village. Not because Amara had swept, she hadn't, but because someone had overheard the conversation. As Amara walked toward the village well, two elderly women greeted her. My daughter, we heard you were questioning your mother's warning. Amara smiled politely. I was only asking why. One of the women slowly shook her head. Some questions are better left unasked. The other added, our elders did not create these customs without reason. Amara answered gently, I believe every tradition should have an explanation. If nobody can explain it, how do we know it's true? The women exchanged worried glances. Later that afternoon, Amara met one of the oldest men in the village, sitting beneath a large tree. He called her over. I hear you've been asking difficult questions. Amara smiled. I don't mean any disrespect. I simply like understanding things. The old man nodded. That is not a bad thing. But remember, there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Amara listened. The elders continued. Our ancestors handed down many customs. Some may have practical reasons, some may be symbolic, and some imposed. We no longer fully understand, but generations continued them because they believed there was value in doing so. Amara thanked him politely, but as she walked away, she still wasn't convinced. That evening, the compound was unusually quiet. Mama Amara had gone to visit a sick neighbor. Chidi had followed a group of boys to watch moonlight games in another compound. For the first time all day, Amara was alone. She looked around the compound. Dry leaves had gathered everywhere. The wind had scattered dust across the entrance. She sighed. This place really needs sweeping. Her eyes drifted towards the broom, leaning against the wall. She remembered her mother's words, never sweep after sunset. She folded her arms. It doesn't make any sense. She looked at the dark sky, then at the broom, then back towards the empty compound. Finally, she walked over, picked up the broom, and smiled to herself. If nobody can explain why, then maybe it's time someone proved there is nothing to fear. Amara stepped into the middle of the compound. She lowered the broom to the ground and began to sweep. The first few strokes felt completely ordinary. Dry leaves scraped gently across the earth. The cool night breeze continued to blow. Nothing happened. Amara smiled. You see, I knew it. She swept a little further. Then, without warning, the wind suddenly stopped. The entire compound became unnaturally still. Even the insects that had been chirping all evening felt silent. Amara slowly raised her head. Something didn't feel right. What do you think if you were Amara? Would you have obeyed your mother's warnings, or would you have done exactly what she did? Let me know in the comments below. I'll read them all. If you enjoyed today's episode, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also turn on your bell notification so that you don't miss episode 3, where we'll find out what happens after Amara ignored the warnings. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.